trying to see if we're live.
It's now streaming live on Facebook.
Why isn't it showing it from my screen? Okay.
Oh, I can see myself messing with the blinds. We're live.
Ah, we are live. Hey, Facebook, as usual, we start off wondering if we're live, and we'll probably end it wondering the same thing. All right, so you guys may or may not know me. I'm the Hudgens Public Programs Manager, Kate Driscoll, and I'll let the other guys introduce themselves, starting with our Ceramic Studio Manager.
Hi, I'm Ty Nicholson.
And I'm Laura Balance. I'm the new Executive Director for the Hudgens Center for Art and Learning in Duluth, and I am today's guest speaker on our Arts Administrator Talk, hosted by the lovely Kate and Ty.
So I just wanted to start, so for people who don't know you, I just wanted to start with just, who are you? What do you do? What's your background?
Great question, Kate. I could spend 10 minutes on this, but
you can.
So I'm Laura Balance, as I mentioned 30 seconds ago. I am now the Executive Director of the Hudgens Center for Art and Learning. I'm so excited. My background is in arts administration. I grew up here in Atlanta, in the metro area. I had the great benefit of a K through 12 education that was heavily focused on the arts. I spent a lot of time in the ceramic studio in high school, during class hours, when I was supposed to be in other classes, and after school. And I really, cultivated my love for the arts in that hands-on way. And that was my preferred medium. Though going back to a younger age, I think it was my uncle who, his present to me at birth was a subscription to National Geographic magazine. So I got one every month, and I would just pore over the images. And so photography really from an early age, I think my 12th birthday, maybe it was Christmas, my dad got me an old Nikon F. And I loved it. I still really connect with both those mediums. Photography is a little easier to facilitate now with the iPhone. But I do have a nice DSLR too on the days that I don't cheat. But yeah, so all of those things, I have a great love for our community, the greater Atlanta community. It's near and dear to my heart. But then the arts, developing an early appreciation for the arts, or an appreciation for the arts early on. After school, during high school, I would go down and take community education classes at Atlanta College of Art at the Woodruff Arts Center. And after graduation from college, I went to Georgia State. I did not study art in college. I started out as a Bachelor of Fine Arts major and then shifted to cultural anthropology, which I loved. But I got back into the arts after college, working at the Woodruff Arts Center. And I was responsible for their non-degree program planning and events and special exhibitions. And from there went to Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta when they opened their Atlanta campus. And I brought the community education, continuing education program over from Atlanta College of Art to SCAD and launched it there because SCAD did not have a continuing ed program at the time. And that included everything from children's summer camps to, working with the College Board to train and prepare educators in AP Studio Art and AP Art History, practicum, curriculum, all kinds of things. We had, just opportunities to connect the public with all the many wonderful things we were doing at SCAD. So I kind of headed up that effort at SCAD for just over 10 years. Then what year is it now? 2020. Okay, how could I forget that? There's so much going on this year. It's hard to even know if it's Tuesday, much less 2020. Oh, it's Thursday. I digress. So I lost my little sister to ALS in 2016, March of 2016. And at that time, she and I were really close. At that time, I kind of took a step back. I took some time away from the working world and just wanted to think about next steps, what I really wanted to be doing, what would really make me happy. I ended up with an opportunity to speak at the Night of Hope Gala, which is a black tie gala that the Muscular Dystrophy Association's ALS chapter hosts every year. And they invited me to speak and talk about my sister and, you know, the meaning of her loss. And I thought, gosh, like, absolutely not. I don't want to do that. It's 600 people. And it was 6 months after she passed away. But I did. And that moment was really a game changer for me. I spoke and I sat down and I watched the mission drive moment happen after I spoke about my sister, and we raised about $140,000 in about 15 minutes. And it was just the greatest feeling because I realized how significant it is to connect the funds to a mission. Like, that's the magic moment. And that's the piece I had always been missing and always wanted in my arts administration experience is how to cultivate the funds. And so I was shortly after that offered a position with the Muscular Dystrophy Association's Atlanta chapter, working with families, with ALS families specifically, and heading up their larger fundraising efforts. And I loved it, I enjoyed it. And then the opportunity came up for the executive director role at the Hudgins, and I never really thought I would leave MDA. I was really, you know, had really grown some, you know, affinity for these families and a connection to that mission. But this was my dream job. I mean, it was really a fantastic opportunity. The Hudgins is such a special place. It's an amazing community. And I just, you know, regardless of whatever pandemic, I thought this is the perfect opportunity at the perfect time. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for all that we're doing, and yeah, and to be working with the both of you. It's such a pleasure.
Well, we're so excited that you've come on. And for people watching, a lot of you probably won't have met Laura because, like she's saying, it's a pandemic. It's, you know, strange times, or normally we would have some big, you know, welcome to the Hudgins, meet the new executive director, but we've been working with her for a little over a month, and it's just been great. So the staff really likes her, and we're sure you guys are going to.
She really likes the staff too. And everyone, I mean, the Gwinnett community is so, oh my gosh, supportive and welcoming. It's so refreshing. You know, having worked in Atlanta, really Atlanta proper for the last, gosh, I mean, most of my professional life, Gwinnett is such a special community, and it's really refreshing. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, I look forward to meeting all of you who are tuning in that I haven't yet met. So it'll happen someday soon.
Hey, I was wondering, so I just wanted to know what you knew about the Hudgins and why you considered it a dream job. Because I've heard you say it before, but I've been wanting to ask you, but we always have other stuff we end up talking about.
So I think, you know, I first knew of it as Gwinnett Council for the Arts. I had never taken a class there because I, you know, was working in continuing education programs at Woodruff Arts Center, at SCAD. And, you know, it made perfect sense for me to take a digital photo class or something where I was working, and through the programs I was building and promoting. But I had long since known of the Hudgins reputation, Gwinnett Council for the Arts and the Hudgins reputation, that it was a really strong, vibrant center. It was a special place. It was a special place. And I had been through the facilities before, but never as a student. So never had the opportunity to meet any of the instructors or really get to know anyone at the center. But it is one of those facilities you walk in and it's just that feeling of this is home. This is something very special. And this is everyone who's a part of it is truly invested in the mission and our vision. And that was a selling point for sure.
That's exactly how I feel about working at the Hudgens. Everything you just said, those are all my favorite things about working.
Everything exactly that you said is the way that I feel as well.
Glad we're all on the same page.
I have a question. You've only been here for a short amount of time, but what so far is your favorite thing about working at the Hudgens?
Well, I mean, clearly it's Kate and Ty.
Clearly.
I mean, no pressure.
And Connie.
And Connie,
Yeah.
I was just referring directly to that. I'm sure Connie's watching because she's so dedicated and sweet and supportive. I was joking because you two are the ones on my screen right now, but the team, and the team includes, you know, our staff. It includes our amazing executive board, our board subcommittees who help us develop the vision in education and programming and, you know, outreach, and our sponsors and supporters, the students, you know, every single person that I've had the benefit of interacting with or getting to know in some way. It's the people, it's the sense of community. I am really excited about so many of the new initiatives we've launched. I mean, I think for much of the world, this pandemic has been a challenge, but I really love that we're banding together as a team, and we're just finding new ways to stay true to our mission and our vision, still support those in our community. And we're doing that through the, you know, distance learning opportunities, virtual platforms, keeping people still, you know, Ty and Connie, I know you're out there, ceramics classes, play classes through Zoom. You guys are doing, didn't know it could be done. But, you know, the problem solving and just the keeping our focus on the mission and how we need to readjust or shift to conform with the restrictions currently in place without compromising on our mission and values. So for those of you who are watching and are not aware, we have online classes that you should register for. They are, there's some great ones. So Introduction to Screenwriting with Danielle Wolfe. She's written for Marvel. She's written for, oh gosh, ABC, CBS. She's just a fantastic, fantastic Emmy-nominated screenwriter and a friend, so I can vouch for her. She's a dedicated teacher. She teaches in the grad program at UCLA, at New York Film Academy, and for her to come to the Hudgens and offer a class, she jumped at the opportunity when I asked her. So Intro to Screenwriting, all of our classes are starting the first week of June or the first week of July, 4- and 8-week courses during the summer. These are all virtual classes, online classes that we found from surveying our students who have already taken these classes. They're learning, they're enjoying them. It's a way to connect with their fellow students, their fellow artists and peers, and keep the creative juices flowing. So Intro to Screenwriting, Ty, you're doing the basics, illustration and character development for teens, youth, 9 to 17.
Yeah.
We've got 2 really special glazing workshops that are available for registration right now. And then our summer camp program, Passport Adventures in Art. So June sessions will be virtual, and we've priced them so that they're accessible to everyone who might be, you know, living with a lesser paycheck right now or on less funds. But July sessions of camp, we have 7 sessions, 4 in June, 3 in July. July sessions right now, we're still planning to hold on site. We'll make the determination by June 5th whether or not that will happen, if they will need to be shifted to the virtual platform. But you know, aside from programming that we're continuing with and continuing to grow and build out online, we've also got these great artist talks and the Hudgens Creative Challenge every other week, which you guys should participate in because it's fun and easy, and you can win a free family membership to the Hudgens. So I'm excited for the day that we can reopen and all be together in that very special facility. But until then, we're keeping true to our commitment to provide quality arts education and engagement opportunities to our community. So that was a long answer, I think, but
Good answer.
That was a good answer, yeah.
a lot to say about the things we're doing at the Hudgens. we're excited about.
I was just going to ask, so is it, I guess, what got you into wanting to work at a nonprofit art center? I know you talked about community and for the love of the arts, but it's not an easy job, especially being the executive director. So I was just wondering how that sort of came about.
So I've always strongly believed that, you know, the best life you can live is a life in service to others. And that happens through the nonprofit sector more often than not. So that was always, I spent 2 years in corporate America very early on, working with the Home Depot's corporate office. So I tried it. I can say, in all fairness, I tried it. And then I quickly shifted to the nonprofit sector. And, you know, beyond that, you do what you love. And I've always loved the arts. I can't imagine a community where we didn't have access to the arts, you know, access that meant access for everyone, fully inclusive. You know, I love that the Hudgens teaches classes in 3 different languages, Spanish, Korean, English. You know, we have these tremendous outreach programs that just, oh my gosh, the Healing Arts program for those living with cancer and caregivers, you know, developmentally disabled adults or those with mobility challenges, they can come in and throw a pot on the adaptive wheels we have at the Hudgens. Yeah, those things. I mean, those are the things, despite the demands of this job or any job, you know, I believe that if you're going to do something, you give it your all. And, you know, you can't expect to give it your all in 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes, but not all the time. And you know, you commit to the things you love, and you try to provide a valuable service to those in your community, something that's meaningful for you. So I don't think of it as a challenge. I think of it as just, this is fun for me. You know, I love it.
And I was also wanting to know, so how do you work, and so how do you sort of envision the role of executive director?
So I work hard, I think. It's the first. I work, I think, I like to look at the big picture. You know, kind of, you walk into a room and you listen to those who've been there for a while. You listen to the supporters, the funders, the students, and you try to get like a broad read on the organization. And then once you have that, then you dive into more segmented aspects. And I mean, for me, I'm a really detail-oriented person. I'll fret about the placement of a comma in an email, about, you know, have the trash cans been empty. It's important. But, you know, then you dive into and through every detail. So, yeah, that's kind of my process, or my approach to work. I do love my color-coded Excel spreadsheets. I really appreciate David Byrne. I love Talking Heads, but when he came out, oh gosh, almost 20 years ago, probably, with his PowerPoint exhibitions that were so, you know, he took the most dry kind of, you know, presentation format, and he made them into these fantastic, abstract, you know, multimedia art installations. And so, yeah, I channel him when I'm building out my Excel spreadsheets of budget line items. You got to do it, because those do get boring. So my vision for, oh, that's it, my Excel, talking about Excel spreadsheets, I'm very methodical, I'm very detail-oriented, methodical. Excel, love it. So the role of executive director essentially is just kind of everything, oversight of everything, the programming, operations, financials. I think the most important function is going out into the community and connecting people with what we're doing, our mission, getting them excited about it. I've never thought of myself as a sales woman person. I would never think I was in sales, but I've had so many people over the years tell me like, no, you're selling me stuff. But it's, you know, it's a cause, it's a mission, it's a purpose, it's rather than a more tangible item. So I think that's the primary function of any good lead arts administrator, CEO, executive director, what have you, is to build a presence within the community, sustain it, and continually grow it. You know, what more can we be doing? One of the things I love about the last month or 6 weeks at the Hudgins is our response to COVID-19 and kind of new campaigns we've launched to connect with our supporters and to connect with those who need support. So we've created the Heart for the Hudgins campaign, allowing and encouraging our supporters to financially support us if they are able to now. And then that further allows us to better serve families in need within our community. You know, just putting together kits of art supplies and giving them out with food donations. You know, people don't think about how important it is for kids who are, you know, now caged in their rooms and learning through Google Classrooms and not connecting socially. They need that creative outlet. It keeps them from being depressed. It keeps them from the stress and anxiety of, you know, an unpredictable situation, the upheaval of their routine. Like, it may not occur to people immediately that is a great need, but it is. And so as executive director, to come up with these initiatives, working with you guys, working with our great board, our great team, to create these, connect them with the funding and get them out there. So I can't remember the original question now, Kate.
Your answer is better than my question.
Hope it was.
So, you know, during a time of crisis, it's easy for people to tighten up and, you know, constrict a little bit. Where do you see the role of funded art programs, and where do you place the value of funded art programs during times like these?
The same as at any other time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I really, you know, you see it every day. People are hurting financially, but they're hurting in other ways too. And our job at the Hudgins is to provide support, and, you know, that's true to our mission and the way we serve the community at any other time. Ramp it up right now, because there's a greater need for that support, and more people need more support. The funding, it's out there. You know, there are people that typically don't give and are still employed, still getting paychecks, and they're more inclined to give now than they were 6 months ago because they see the need now. You know, the funding opportunities may look a little different, but the funding is still out there, and we are still in need of the funding. And it's a critical part of you know, our commitment to the community. Without those funds, without the generosity, you know, a $10 donation, those add up, and those allow us to do the many great things that we do through the Hudgins.
Who is your favorite employee? No, I'm just kidding.
Connie.
Okay, right. That was my vote.
Wow.
Yeah.
This Zoom is over.
It's getting pretty serious. I wonder if all three of us are going to make it to the end while still being employed at the Hudgins. What are the over/under odds on this?
And then there were two.
I love you. Love you all equally.
I mean, you took over this role in a really critical time, not only in the country, but for the center as well. And you have no small role here for sure. And, you know, we are all very appreciative of your leadership and your guidance so far.
It's always Monday. Thank you, Ty. Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot.
All right, we've got a couple of questions from people watching on Facebook Live. Let's see. So first, Ashley Lynch has asked, I was wondering if the Hudgens Award winners solo show will be delayed. Thank you for asking that, Ashley. I can answer that. No, it will not be delayed. So our Hudgens winner of the competition cycle in 2019 was Paul Stephen Benjamin. He will be on display this fall. And Debbie Diane, hey Debbie. She wanted to know what's going on with Pottery online classes. And I think you guys may have already touched on that with talking about our online options in the summer, but if you want to expand on that, you can go ahead.
I'll refer that question to our ceramic studio manager, the ever competent Ty Nicholson.
Ooh, the overconfident Ty Nicholson. No, we are offering online pottery classes in 4 or 8 week sessions for the first part of the session, the summer. Like with everywhere else, we're still learning day by day how to deal with the pandemic and trying to find the most effective and safe way to move forward into fully reopening the studio. That's a process we're still trying to figure out, and we're making a monumental effort to do it right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are, just this past week, Monday, and again on Saturday, we've had students come by to drop off their pieces for bisque fire. And I got to be there on Monday with Ty, and I'll be there again on Saturday with Ty, kind of meeting students 6 to 10 feet apart. Everybody's wearing masks. We're all wearing our gloves. So we're eager to get the building reopened and get back in, but there are so many considerations that need to be made to ensure that we're keeping the safety of every single person we serve, from students to instructors to our staff. You know, we don't want to be a part of the larger problem. So we're taking a very well-informed, measured approach to how we can do that. We were excited to start with bisque fire drop-off this week, and we expect in the early part of June, maybe June 1st, to reopen the gallery spaces by appointment only, and more to be determined. You know, as more information surfaces, we'll move forward. But yeah, so the clay classes online have been we've had a great response from those enrolled.
Yeah, and that is great because someone just asked, when are you guys planning on reopening? And you addressed that. And that was Ella Marie. I'm really sorry, Ella Marie. I'm going to probably butcher your last name. Is it Pratt or Prayet? Yep, we're trying to find out a responsible way to do that. And right now going forward, it's probably going to be the galleries are going to be opening in June by appointment only, so we can just make sure not too many people are crammed into a small space together right now.
Hopefully not too much later into the summer, we can bring some of the classes back on site distance. So they will be smaller classes. But again, before we announce that officially, I hope this wasn't an official announcement right here. But you know, before we come up with a hard date, we want to make sure that we are adhering to all the criteria, you know, that's been put out by the CDC, by the state public health department, that, you know, we're a safe building. So yeah, we're working on it. We miss you guys too.
Yeah. And Terry Howe, one of our instructors, is peddling his class online, which I definitely recommend people take. It's this Friday night fun with clay night, and they're making he's pinch building yard art for their class this session. So
I might, Terry, way to plug, Terry. I might sign up for your session. I knew it was Friday nights, but I love the pinch pots yard art.
And then also your favorite employee, Connie, just reminded us that we are adding more online clay and painting, drawing classes as we move forward into June and July.
Yes, yes.
We're the Connie fan club now.
Yeah.
Yay, Connie.
We should get t-shirts with Connie's face on it.
Oh, yeah, yes. She would like that, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm. And, but I want to also ask you, Laura, and we've been talking about Hudgins a little bit. I want to shift a little bit back to you. I was wondering, so we've talked about what you really like about the Hudgins and this sort of corner of the art world. I wanted to know what about the art world do you not like or just not relate to?
I more than anything, the idea of the starving artist. I hate that. I don't know. So when growing up in high school, I mentioned I started out as a Bachelor of Fine Arts major, somewhere between ceramics and sculpture. And this was 1990. My father, he encouraged me. He had this notion. It's antiquated now. But he had this idea, like, if you're going to be a starving artist, you need to choose a more marketable program of study. So of course I landed in cultural anthropology, which I promise you is not more marketable. It was great. It's fascinating. And the art I love most seems to pull in the pieces of culture with the various artistic mediums. But yeah, so I went the more marketable anthropology route. The field has changed so much since 1990, and everything that we do has a creative application. But aside from that, you have multimedia, digital media, all of the graphic design was barely a thing in 1999. So the career field has changed. The creative career field has changed so much, but there is still this idea of, if you go into how are you going to make money? And that drives me crazy because nothing could be further from the truth. I always love this as an example. You can go to the hardware store and buy a $1 toilet scrub brush, maybe $3. It doesn't cost much, and it's got like a basic white handle and a little scrub brush for your toilet or whatever. But you don't. You go to Target and you buy the $20 one that you identify with, whatever aesthetic somebody has come up with. That's you're buying the Graves toilet brush. You're not spending $3, you're spending $20 because this is cool, this is fun, this is an extension of of you, kind of your style. So I mean, that just being kind of the very basic premise of how the arts really live and thrive in business and the marketplace. And yeah, I hate the idea of the starving artist. One of the things we have talked about doing in our vision for the Hudgens is developing a program to help artists, network and learn the skills necessary to market themselves and, connect and, promote their work. I know that there are some people who are just happy to make art, to create, and that's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. It's whatever you need it to be for yourself. But for those out there who really, it is their passion and they need to generate the funds to keep that alive as their primary source of income or business, we would like at the Hudgens to develop a program to support and help those people grow as artists to be really successful. That's what I hate about it. Starving artists doesn't exist, doesn't have to exist.
Does not need to exist, especially in 2020. That's for certain.
Right. That's so true.
I have a question for you. Oh, go ahead, Kate.
No, you go.
I was going to ask, what's one of the most memorable moments that you've had in your career so far?
I really think it's about seeing the growth of students. I mean, I can remember seeing students come in through, as 10th or 11th graders in high school. They would come into SCAD with no real, they didn't have a portfolio. They had just very basic drawing skills and not much else, but they were eager and excited, and this was their thing. And developing relationships with these students, and then they would come back for the pre-college program, and then they would come back and you would see them in the hallways, in the dining hall, in the main academic building where my office was for those 4 years. And then you would see them at commencement, and then you see them out now working as artists. And it just like that just is so that's the love of it all, to see somebody who really was a little timid at first and like, I'm not a real artist. And then, they connect with that community, and they develop their skills and talents, and they have these amazing instructors, dedicated teachers. And I've known so many. And yeah, so that's a really fun, memorable, special part of my work.
That is a good memory.
Are you guys taking notes?
I am.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we want to be the favorite now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Connie's had her day in the sun.
Yeah. Your time is up.
I wanted to know, from your opinion, what you see as the Hudgens role in Duluth, Gwinnett, the Metro Atlanta area. Where do you see us? But I guess I'll just leave that open.
We are the hub of the visual arts in our community. And our community is Duluth, it's Gwinnett, it's the larger metro area. And right now, despite the challenges of the pandemic, we have had this great opportunity to launch all these virtual initiatives. Our reach is across the country. Like, there are no limits to who our community is and what the Hudgens is within those communities. So yeah, the artist talks, we've featured, oh my gosh, David Wright in Maine. I loved him. His talk.
Oh yeah, he is great.
That was a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, we've been able to connect. Duluth is our location, and that is, most of our students who come in to the building for classes, for summer camp, they live in and around Duluth or in Gwinnett, or North Atlanta, North DeKalb. But really, I think our community is so much larger, and we are the hub of the visual arts within the community.
I think so too.
I think so too.
Well, that's one of the most important parts about art in general and art centers. It's to create community and create engagement. It's not such an insular thing. So like the fact that we can be recognized as a national center, really, especially with the attention paid by the Hudgens Prize and all of our national, like our juried exhibit with the ceramic show and all these huge gallery shows we have. Like, we do a lot in this area. We are a regional force to be not reckoned with, but to be recognized.
To be
or reckoned with.
We can be reckoned with, recognized.
Yeah.
But we are that, I agree. And we will grow in that capacity, I think.
Well, I think you've also capitalized, in a sense, on what we're going through right now in terms of COVID-19. Instead of, being timid about our way forward, I think you've done a really good job in kind of taking the bull by the horn, so to speak, and like dealing with what we have and making positive efforts to move forward that I think will be very fruitful as we come out that backside of this whole thing.
Thanks.
Yeah, I totally agree. You've done such a great job. Starting a new job is always hard. It's really hard. I'm assuming, I've never been a boss, but it would be really hard when you're, the new head honcho, and then you add in a global pandemic. That is no small feat. And you just jumped in, just writing grants so fast, I feel like your hands are going to go on fire.
That is
yeah.
Good. Thank you both for that vote of confidence. It is what it is. it could always be worse. It could always be better. And I do believe, you know, the larger the problem or the scope of a problem, the more important it is to try to get in front of it, to grab the bull by the horns, you know. And, you know, once you set the pace, you know, and find a way to make it sustainable long term, you know, we're moving along. So I'm really excited for all that we've been able to get up and running despite a pandemic. A little pandemic.
Oh, a little thing like a global pandemic. Just a hiccup in our plans. I wanted to know, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Gosh, I have two, but only one really relates. So my sister, the one who passed away maybe 6 months after she got her diagnosis, excuse me, we did a StoryCorps. Do you guys know StoryCorps on NPR?
Mm-hmm.
So I made an appointment and we went into the Atlanta History Center where they have a StoryCorps booth, and we did an hour of a StoryCorps, and where I interviewed her, and I had asked her, you know, what was the single moment in her life that she was most proud of. And this was, I mean, she was such an overachiever, my sister Marthy. Ty knows she was Army Airborne paratrooper. Excuse me, I'm sitting outside and I think there's, she was a marathon runner, she was a barefoot water skier, she was a snow skier, like she was captain of a crew team, head of the Charles rowing thing. I don't do those things. She was really a dynamic young woman. And I asked her, of all the many accomplishments, like what was she singularly most proud of? And she said, it's not any one thing. It's just, she said yes to every opportunity. And that still holds true for me. I mean, ever since she mentioned those words, I was like, huh, there's maybe something to that. And I do, you know, using discretion. I mean, not every opportunity is like a wise, you know, will this help, you know, wise judge of character kind of thing. But, you know, these opportunities to do and experience and create and connect, I say yes to all of them, you know, within reason. And my plate can pile up sometimes, but I think that's great advice. You know, you have, you know, so many days in this world, and what you do with them does matter. You know, the impact that you make on the lives of others, the connections that you have with others, those are, you know, saying yes to all of those opportunities is great advice. Yeah. The other one was from a 10-year-old at my wedding, my very small wedding of like 80 people. And he was sad to learn that I could only wear the dress that one day. And he advised that I wreck that dress. And that soon became the theme of the night. I was like, that's the best advice I've gotten on marriage yet. For the whole day, I'm going to live it up in this dress and make the night a great one. And then it was great. No one will ever wear that dress again because it's covered in red wine and some other things. It was a great time in that dress. And he later sent me a picture with the hashtag wreck that dress. But I think even that little piece of advice specifically related to my wedding, that's great advice, you know, just have fun, just live it up, regardless of what you're wearing and how many times you can wear it. Like, have fun in life, enjoy the moment.
Well, so if I asked you, said I have an opportunity for you, do you want to go get matching tattoos?
Not this
week. You can pick the design.
Do you know,
Connie's face.
Do you have Connie's face would sell it. Thank you, Ty. I don't have any tattoos.
We could do like a fundraising effort. Like if people match, like raise so much money, we'll get matching tattoos.
Okay.
And all the money will go to the Hudgins.
If you can make it a fundraising effort, that's probably the only thing that would sell me on a tattoo. That, and if it's Connie.
Yeah. But what if they have to pick what it is?
Oh. I mean, for the right dollar amount, maybe. But really, they should be more excited about giving and supporting to such a vital piece of the health of the community that is the Hudgens, and not some design somewhere. But I have a low threshold for pain, and I don't even have my ears pierced. I don't want.
What if, okay, I don't think we should write this off. What if we got some company to match it? If we can raise $20,000 and they match it, some company matches it.
Yeah.
We go get matching tattoos.
Oh, I'm in.
Kate, I didn't know you had these fundraising skills. This is
You gotta, she's sweetening the pot a little bit.
They're all tattoo related. So we're gonna have a lot of ink, but we're gonna raise so much money for the Hudgens.
So, I mean, I'm open to this idea. I'd really like to hit it at a 6-figure mark, because this is a lifetime commitment on your body. But I believe in the fundraising purpose. You know, if it supports the Hudgens, I'll do it. Sure. I can't believe this was a question. Great idea. Sure. I say yes to every opportunity, right?
Well, yeah, you really do.
I mean, I just said I did. So yeah, that was a well-timed question after I just talked about.
You're talking about how dedicated you are to the Hudgens.
I did kind of trap you there. I should have asked you at the beginning. All right, guys, we are reaching our 45-minute mark. If you have any questions for Laura, tattoo related or no, put them into the chat now before we're gonna close it down.
Well, we definitely picked up some steam with the tattoo suggestion.
Good job, Pete.
Terry says, let's do it. Terry Colander. Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna get in on it. Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be something if we just raised a ton of money?
It would be something if
on that premise.
I don't know that the tattoo is critical in that piece of raising a ton of money, but if it works,
it is.
I will do it. Okay.
I don't think it's actually gonna happen. You don't have to worry about it.
No, I'll do it. If we can, I do want to see a 6-figure. I mean, there have to be a lot of people that want us to get tattoos. But really the overarching goal is like it's support for the Hudgens, and if that makes giving more fun, then absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, you're right, Ty. That really did pick up steam. Yeah. I asked people, hey, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Everyone's just saying, you guys should really do that.
Yeah.
Okay, are you getting the names of those people? Because I will be following up with a personalized phone call to talk to them about their giving commitment.
Their contributions.
Yeah. They're a lot of them are students too, so I can point them out to you in a crowd.
Yeah, put your money where your mouth is.
I look forward to meeting them all. And on that note, I mean, I know that it is a hard time financially for a lot of families. And I understand that not everybody's able to give, but if the Hudgens means something to you, please do consider making a donation. You can go directly to our website to the donate button. It's really easy. Takes 2 minutes. If it's a $10 donation, if it's a $100 donation, funding for the arts is always challenging. And it's ironic to me because the arts are such an essential part of our community. All the ways in which the arts bring like meaning and value and fun, cutesy toilet scrubber brushes into our lives. Like we need these things. And if you can help support the Hudgens and support our mission to our community, serving our community through quality arts programs and learning experiences, please, we really appreciate it. And yeah, and we hope to see you guys in real life soon.
Yeah.
I'm
well said.
Oh, thank you, Kate. I'm very sad this is wrapping up. This has been fun.
I know, it has been fun. I know, I always get nervous before we do these, and then by the time it's ending, I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit.
45 minutes.
But thanks for agreeing to do this, Laura.
Oh my
I know
God.
it's.
I was really excited for the opportunity, because I've been remiss not being able to. I love to go out into the community and to meet the people and who are supporting us, and we're serving and get others excited about what we're doing at the Hudgens. It's so hard to do this Zoom meeting. It's doable, but I was excited for this opportunity just to say hello and introduce myself and share a little bit about myself and my commitment to the Hudgens and our mission with those who I've not yet had an opportunity to personally meet or, just get to know. So, and I welcome any of you out there, students, teachers, supporters. My email is lbalance@thehudgens, or you can email Connie and she can give you my email address. It's also on the website. And my phone number too, my cell phone number. So please don't hesitate to reach out and say hello and introduce yourself. And, let me know if you have ideas on things that we can do to further support our students and our community at large.
Yeah, and guys, if you haven't met her yet, you will adore her. She's just been, only been here like 6 weeks or so. She's already been so great for the Hudgens. So if you are a fan of the Hudgens, you will be a fan of Laura.
Okay, thank you. That was really sweet. So it makes me want to do this a little bit, like, but,
I know. I'm kind of like killing you with compliments. I know it's kind of embarrassing.
It's great. I love the love at the Hudgens. We're all very supportive and we're all dedicated to what we do. And we're an amazing team. You guys are an amazing team. I got really lucky.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Yeah, everybody's very positive and we support each other. We collaborate, we work together, and we're mission focused. So, any other questions or ideas for fundraising, like nose piercings or dyeing your hair purple?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I think, hair dye would be good. Any body modification one. Yeah. I have a friend that's a tattoo artist. She could help us out. I bet she would donate her services to our cause.
Okay, put her name on the list again and I'll be reaching out.
Oh my gosh. What if I actually send you her name?
I'll call her. She'll love it. We'll have fun. And maybe she'll come in and take a class. Is she currently taking classes at the Hudgens? Through the online, how easy is it to just log on, take a little break from the craziness of your work from home world and get creative with one of our amazing Hudgens instructors who are teaching drawing and painting and clay and screenwriting and more classes. Come in. So you guys, if you will, please check our education button. Summer camp too is an option. These kids need to keep busy this summer. Yes, check often. We're uploading all the time new classes to launch this summer. So, and hopefully we will be able to get back into the building soon with session 3 classes, maybe an abbreviated session 3. We'll just have to see what that looks like. But we'll be communicating with our student instructor and larger community via email with those details soon.
All right, guys, that is it for us. If you missed the first part of this, don't worry. You can still view it on Facebook, and we do upload. It takes a day or two for the recording to be available, but we do upload all of our talks to our YouTube channel, which is just Hudgens Center.
And don't forget, next week, Tuesday at 5 p.m., we have our next visiting artist talk with Jessica Rambo from Painted Buffalo Traveling Studio. So you guys tune into that one.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. And then we'll have on Thursday, we'll have Laura Adams, who is the owner of Brickworks Gallery, and she's also one of the artists and curators of a show we'll be having here at the Hudgens next spring, 3 Billion, which focuses on bird population.
Yeah, this will be good. They'll both be good. I'm excited to hear from both. But Rambo, a vet who now is she's taken her work on the road, and has a bus bringing art, into veterans communities. And oh my gosh, what an amazing mission.
Yeah, she'll be really interesting to talk to. She's done, and her group have done a lot of work, so it'll be good to speak with them.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
All right, you guys, we are about to stop our live stream, but thank you so much for watching us.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we're no longer live.
Are we sure?
Yeah, check your screen. It'll probably say, it'll say live on Facebook.
Hopefully it's like stopped in a location where I'm like that or something, making a really horrid face. Oh yeah, we're on. No.